Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest events in the province. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of August 9, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thu Hoài, Deputy Director of the Propaganda Department, Central Committee for Propaganda and Training, heads of the survey delegations, had a meeting with the Propaganda and Training Department of the Provincial Committee on the implementations of propaganda activity for the implementations of the National Target Program on Sustainable Poverty Reduction. The focus is on information poverty reduction 2022-2023 in the province. Welcoming and working with the survey delegation, there were Mr. Nguyễn Quang Thắng, Deputy Head of the Propaganda and Training Departments of the Provincial Party Committee, and leaders of relevant agencies.
In recent years, the Provincial Committee for Propaganda and Training has promptly directed and oriented the propaganda system, RES agency, the team of reporters, propagandists, and collaborators of public opinion at all levels to focus on propaganda and information on grassroots, especially in rural areas, borders, create rural conditions for people to access information on the party's guidelines, the state policies and laws, activities of subordinates and authorities, current information, economic, political, defense, security, social, cultural situations, and complex issues. Sensitivity is interested by officials, party members, and people. In general, propaganda work is carried out diversely and abundantly, better serving the needs of information enjoyment, improving the quality of cultural and spiritual life of the people, creating consensus in public opinion, gradually reducing the imbalance rate of demand for information enjoyment between urban and rural areas, border regions. In the afternoon of August 8, Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, standing Vice Chairwoman of the People's Council of the Province, and the delegation of the People's Council of the Province and Hoa Thanh Tao met voters of Long Thanh Bắc Quơ. Voters petitioned local authorities to upgrade and repair long-used roads that deteriorate, causing local water lodging in the rainy season, making speed bumps and warning signs of traffic accidents on An Dương Vương Road, reaching drainage ditch system to ensure flow circulation. In addition, voters asked the authorities to take strong measures against overloaded vehicles and use on when traffic is beyond regulation, inspect and strictly handle portal runway facilities causing noise pollution, consider allowance for non-specialized employees in hamlets and quarters so that they can ensure their life and work with peace of mind. Representatives of relevant sectors and local authorities explain opinions within their competence and summarize relevant opinions to reply to the two-level People's Council in the next meeting.
In the afternoon of August 8, Mr. Dương Văn Thắng, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee and leaders of relevant departments, had a meeting with FICO TayNinhTV's John Stock Company to listen to the report on the operations of the first 6 months of 2023 and the process of the implementations of investment in Line 2 of the Siemens factory projects in Tân Hòa Commune, Tân Châu District, Tây Ninh Province.
At the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Công Bảo, CEO of the company, said that in the first 6 months of 2023, the company achieved a total output of 84% compared to the same period in 2022. Revenue compared to the same period last year reached 88%. Profit before tax reached 90% compared to the same period last year. According to the company's leaders, the lower output, revenue, and profit compared to the same period in 2022 are due to the decrease in demand in the southern cement market. On the other hand, due to the freezing real estate market, while the progress of public investment disbursement of infrastructure projects is still slow. In the direction of the last 6 months of the year, it's trying to stabilize production and business, tightly control production, circulation, corporate governance costs, and best repair for equipment overhaul by September 2023. The company's leaders proposed to the Provincial People's Committee relevant departments to support and guide the company in the process of approving procedure for extension of investment license and construction of Line 2 project at TayNinhTV Cement Factory, continue to consider and approve the policy of using dolomite rock in the face of increasing mining capacity, support and guide the company to complete procedures and legal documents related to the trial operation so that it can apply for a coal processing license. Speaking at the meeting, Mr. Yu Văn Thắng acknowledged recommendations of the company and affirmed that the province will continue to accompany enterprise to overcome difficulties and maintain production. At the same time, suggest potential projects to be implemented in the near future and wishing the company to have urgent solutions to accelerate the construction of lighter to soon bring products to the market, along with that perform serialization of tools. In the afternoon of the same day, FICO signed a contract with the People's Committee of Tân Châu District to sponsor 1.2 billion Vietnam dong for the district to carry out social security work in 2024-2025. Also at the ceremony, FICO also handed over a symbolic ball to support 300 million Vietnam dong to the People's Committee of Tân Hoa Commune for social security and social cultural economic development in the locality in the period of 2024-2025. In the morning of August 9, SEP Microfinance Organization awarded the Sharing the Love Scholarship to disadvantaged students who are children of workers and laborers in TayNinhTV province. With this program in 2023 in TayNinhTV, SEP awarded 60 scholarships to disadvantaged students who are children of the poor laborers in some localities in the province, with a total value of 128 million Vietnam dong. They are disadvantaged, have disabilities, are orphaned by one parent, and are at high risk of dropping out of school. Each scholarship for primary school students is 1.5 million Vietnam dong. Scholarship for middle and high school students are each worth 2.5 million Vietnam dong. Mr. Lê Võ Tấn Lụy, Deputy General Director of SEP, said that since 2009, the whole SEP system has supported more than 50,485 customers who are the poor laborers with a total budget of more than 14 billion Vietnam dong through activities such as awarding scholarships, supporting house construction, donate health insurance cards, support critical illness treatment costs. In 2023, SEP has awarded more than 2,595 scholarships and more than 10,000 gifts of school supplies to students with a total value of more than 9.4 billion Vietnam dong. In the afternoon of August 9, the delegation of An Giang Radio and Television Station, led by Mr. Nguyễn Văn Lên, Director of An Giang Station, visited and exchanged working experience at TayNinhTV Radio and Television Station. Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường, Director of TayNinhTV Station, welcomed and worked with the delegation. At the meeting, leaders of An Giang Department of Finance and Department of Information and Communications, along with Department of Finance and Department of Information and Communications of TayNinhTV Province, as well as leaders of TayNinhTV and An Giang Radio and Television Stations, exchanged information on the implementation of radio program production, television, royalty payments, in which emphasis is placed on the development and implementation of the order list, funding for transmission lines and digital communications. Through the meeting, leaders of two stations agreed to continue exchanging information between two provinces, tightening solidarity and learning from each other. Mobile International Border Gate Station said that it has arrested a wanted person who entered from Cambodia to Vietnam. The incident occurred at 15 on August 9, 2023 at the Immigration Flow Mobile International Border Gate Station in Thuận Tây Hamlet, Lợi Thuận Commune, Bến Cầu District, TayNinhTV Province. While performing the task of checking people entering Vietnam, officers of Mobile International Park Border Gate Station discovered that Phan Ngọc Tài, born on February 24, 1988, with a permanent registered arrest of Thuận Phong Hamlet, Phong Thủy Commune, Lê Thủy District, Quảng Bình Province, entered from Cambodia to Vietnam. By professional measures, the inspection unit identified Phan Ngọc Tài as a wanted subject according to Decision Number 1, dated June 5, 2023, of the Police Investigation Agency of Quảng Bình Province for the crime, abuse of trust and misappropriation of assets. Mobile International Border Gate Station arrested and detained the subject and notified the police of Quảng Bình Province. The unit has carried out procedures in accordance with the law to handle and hand over him to the police of Quảng Bình Province for further processing.
Ladies and gentlemen, from July 1st, the base salary was adjusted to increase from 1,490,000 Vietnamese đồng to 1,800,000 Vietnamese đồng a month. Unlike previous increase, immediately after the salary increase, commodity price simultaneously increase. In this salary increase period, rise of basic essential goods has been stable.
July 2023 Consumer Price Index rose 0.57% from the previous month. Surveys at some markets in the city for some essential commodities such as food products also increased compared to last month, mainly due to the increase in prices of some types of rice due to the increase in demand for exporting rice to other countries, especially demand from Chinese markets began to increase again. Since the salary increase from July 1st until now, after more than a month, market prices tend to increase slightly compared to the time before the salary increase. There is no unreasonable price increase. Functional forces such as the Department of Industry and Trade and the Provincial Market Management Agency have strengthened management to stabilize the market. After the base salary increase, in general, the market price begins to fluctuate accordingly. In general, the increase in low slowed the amount of goods supplied abundantly, especially only vegetables and fruit increased much due to the stormy season. The transportation on raw material areas to consumption places faced many difficulties, so agricultural products and vegetables from Dalat have increased compared to previous months. It is forecasted that the market in the next months will be quite complicated due to the influence of the world, political and economic situation, the price of gasoline and gas increases, but fuel life are difficult, so they tend to save. Therefore, commodity and food market prices in the coming months will tend to increase slightly according to the purchasing power of consumers. Currently, departments have strengthened coordination to monitor market development, supply and demand, and market prices in the area, especially for essential consumer goods such as rice, pork, vegetables, and fruits. Services of transporting passengers, sightseeing, festival, and essential commodities in order to promptly apprise Provincial Business Committee on price stabilization measures in accordance with the law and promptly propose the assurance of national resources according to regulations. At the same time, strictly inspect and control the price declaration of enterprises, price formation factors, and the determination of selling prices for essential goods, price stabilization items, price declaration in the field of charge.
The audience, after many months of continued reductions of foreign direct investment (FDI) in Vietnam, the first 7 months of the year have made a comeback with an increase of 0.8% over the same period last year. It is forecasted that the pace of FDI into Vietnam this year will remain positive as foreign enterprise continues to trust and focus as one of the important investment pays in the regions.
Recently, LG Innotech Korea Project was awarded the investment registration certificate adjusted to increase capital by $1 billion in Hải Phòng City. This is one of the typical projects contributing to the overall increase of foreign direct investment capital of the country in the first 7 months of the year. The efforts of Vietnam in general and localities in particular in reforming the business environment is one of the top reasons for investor retention. In the midst of declining investment flows due to difficulties from the global economic recession, foreign investors still decided to pour capital into Vietnam, including projects with huge scale. This shows investor confidence in Vietnam's growth prospects in the future. This shows that drastic solutions of the government and the Prime Minister in the first months of the year have brought efficiency in supporting and removing difficulties for enterprises to implement investment capital disbursement. Organizations and experts forecast that in the last months of the year, FDI inflows into Vietnam will have even more positive signals thanks to the ability to realize investment opportunities of enterprises through high-level diplomatic activities taking place in the first half of the year. However, in the long term, this capital still depends heavily on Vietnam's policy to respond to global economic issues. The issue we care about is Vietnam's handling of the global minimum tax story. This is very important because preferential policies and tax policies are an important criterion for investors to choose where to put their capital. Opportunities are still opening, but investors always have many options. Therefore, efforts to improve the business investment environment need to be further promoted for Vietnam to maintain its attractiveness for FDI inflows.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.